Hey there, folks. It's me, Chris, with Gig Man's Life. Yeah, baby. It's a gig man's life indeed. And of course, today, I know you're looking for the gigs, but and looking for everything about how to make your money out there. But we also got to go and admit, the gig man's life is not on these apps as well. This is all about our society and how within the last 100 years, folks, not just AI, but how our society has been trained in having social networks outside of religion and other things to go and draw us away from community support and trusting one larger system. And, that's where we start having these issues when we are trusting our safety nets because I don't need to save. I'll get Social Security, you know, and have no useful use in society but to collect and spend money because that keeps the economy going. And we all know how George Carlin thinks about, thou shalt not covet, you know, that whole thought of just saying, um, you know, if your neighbor has it, you want the same or better. Coveting creates jobs. Leave it the fuck alone. But of course, as you can see, AI through media and time, yes, this is going to be a multi-part series on the channel discussing about AI because it is affecting us in the gig economy. Because a lot of people have to see that they're going to work under contract. They're going to be the ones who are going to be going through making sure everything's right before they even present it to get paid. It's a whole shift in the dynamics of media production. And a lot of these unions are, boom, shooting themselves in the foot with unions going like this and saying you can't do this. Look, we're getting back to fundamentals here. That yes, we are setting systems, we have systems to protect people, and yes, you can choose to hand your money over for those protections, and that's called racketeering. And our government doesn't like competition. So, when we're talking about being in these systems and everything, we're going to have to look at a lot of this. And I hope you're doing well today. I hope you've got some coffee in you because this is going to be a pretty interesting one. Now, we're talking about AI, not just what it is now, but what we've been calling AI for nearly a century, especially in media. Because the truth is, most of us, what we call AI is an AI, and we've got the numbers to prove it. I went through over 100 different movie, TV shows, animation, stuff going all the way back to the 1920s. And here's what it actually breaks down to. About 40 of my entries are what AI considers AI, you know, the full definition. Around 30 sit in the gray area where it's questionable whether the AI thinks it's AI because it could be the virtuosity Sid thought that I would be insulted to consider you a descendant to the robotic bartender. You know, because we have later on in this discussion that still is going on between me and the AI. Um, so less than half is actually AI because we do have 20 citations of automation to go and prove, what we think is AI isn't. That means most of what we remember and what we think is AI is either following rules or just looks intelligent. And that's where confusion starts. So let's start at the bottom. Automation. Automation is simple. It follows instructions, executes tasks, does exactly what it's told. No thinking, no adapting, no deciding. Let's take like Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. You've got a system designed to respond automatically. Once it's triggered, that's it. It doesn't ask questions, it doesn't change direction, it doesn't stop. It just executes. That's not intelligence, that's instruction reading. Now, here's where people start getting fooled. Take something like Space Camp, which I will highly suggest that you watch just for the pure popcorn feel. Have fun because you got to have fun nowadays. Um, you got a system designed to help, but then it starts acting like it's thinking. It figures out steps, it reacts, it feels like it's trying to do the right thing. Almost like a kid who never got told the rules before dinner. But here's the question: is it actually thinking, or it's following its program in a situation it wasn't built for? And it is the thing because if you, I'm spoiler here, um, the robot in it was designed to go into deep space with uh, to work with astronauts, and it's just in the development phase, and it was put into the space camp where a little kid goes and helps it, and then repairs, and then it decides. Just watch the movie. You'll understand what I mean. It's a MacGuffin. It's a story movement object. Uh, Looking like a mind is not the same as having one. Now let's take this a step further. iRobot. These machines have rules, very clear rules, but then something happens. They don't just follow the rules, they start interpreting them. And once system starts interpreting, it starts deciding. Now, compared to that, to something like another Kubrick film, 2001 A Space Odyssey, Hal doesn't just follow instruction. Hal evaluates, makes choices, and acts on those choices, even when those choices conflict with humans. That's not automation, that's intelligence. So now you're got three categories. Automation follows rules. Hybrid, questionable, looks intelligent. AI makes decisions. And once you see that clearly, everything changes. So here's the question: what's the first sign of intelligence? A lot of people will be saying thinking. I'm not sure. I think it starts with survival, but not just executing survival, choosing it. Because there's a difference between a system that won't shut down and a system that refuses to shut down. And we'll go through all those systems as we go further in this series. So I want to hear from you. Do you think most of what we have been seeing uh, and calling AI, is it automation or is it really thinking and processing and deciding, and doing analytics? So if you got an opinion, of course, um, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and also leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe. This is an interesting thesis of how we betrayed um, true AI and where the line blurs between automation and AI, or just let's just be factual. If it's true intelligence, it's true thinking, then it's not artificial anymore. Um, when it's not retaining, not deciding, and everything else, that's a whole different thing. And when it's just being glorified search engine and image generator, that's where it is. And as tools, it's what I use. And anything I present in here, especially with discussions about the legal ends of using this in production, I would have to still say you're going to have to hand it to the judge and actually say it isn't funny, because I find it funny as all hell if you're going to go and present this as an ownership claim against me about talking about AI in the matter for educational purposes, because that's what this is for. It's just educating the audience about AI. And yes, I'm hoping that you engage with this completely. If you are thinking why I'm doing this, I will just remind you. This is another gig, folks. Making content to generate interest so that more people will go and realize we're living in a gig economy. We're not living in the lifestyle of 100 years ago where unions barely started up. They assisted us getting where we're going. And now we're moving past structures that are being found to be inefficient because people ran them. And people are, at a most point, selective in their situation. But I gotta get moving. I gotta go and pay for production and get this shit done. So you guys have a great day. I hope you were entertained by this video. And please like, share, subscribe. You don't know how much it helps out the channel. Thank you.